Says no. The Rambam says because that's his ratzon. Kaifim Yud Sedaim. That's a good one. Yeah. And also the chinuch, because chinuch of the fair is the only that says that it's a din in the. Okay, we'll have to. By Torah. Okay, just to review, we learned Bekitza. We see the Darchinayim of Torah, and we see a sugya shleima on how to treat an eved, even an eved ivri. But even though he's your eved, you have to treat him properly. And the message, of course, is surely another yid. I have to treat him and see the tzelem like him on every yid. Basically, there are two lavim regarding an eved ivri. This pasuk lametes and bahar of avodas eved, pasuk mem gimel avodas perach. But the third pasuk in pasuk mem vav is talking about a regular yid, according to many Rishonim. Basically, it's a gemara in Bava Metzia that a ma'isa of Leiseder Befarach is even going on a regular yid who's not your eved, another yid, a worker or a neighbor. That's, as we said, part of the Taivas HaTorah, that even a yid who's not your eved, and he could say no, but if he can't, he's afraid to say no, he's embarrassed to say no, then it would be an issa to force him to do what he doesn't want to do. The Yosef Aimitz calls it an issa gadol, the araisa. The Cheskuni writes it's something that shchiach that needs a lot of repetition, that we should realize this, and as we applied it even to a child, even a young child, but forcing him to do what he doesn't want to do is really what the issa is. A babysitter or any worker, they just to stay a little longer, or throw it in. Forcing them to do what they don't want to do is this lav, even though they say yes, but like a tayu v'yahiv, which is not considered a legitimate consent. The Chazon Ish gave us priceless advice not to make requests unless it's necessary, and even then make sure that the person is not forced to say yes or no. Either way is no good. Minimize requests, and we said sending a secretary to go shopping, if it's not her level of tznius, you can't send her to do that. That's basically this lav, and it's also like say to avodim. There's a heta of te'eles, because it's not hashchas in midas, it's doing for their toiva. There's a special heta for the child or a grandchild or a talmud to do even avodas eved, even to tie shoes. But avodas perach, which is without any need, was just an emotionally destroying that person, that of course would not be mutter. Of course, a child has to be treated the way a child has to be treated, like yichbal oiloi. You shouldn't make too much of shouldn't be too much imposing on a child, but basically there has to be a Torah life between parents and children that goes both ways. There's no special heta by your spouse. We did say b'makom mitzvah chayuvas, you could force someone to do a mitzvah. Someone pointed out to force someone to teach you Torah, like Rabbi Kiva was, and that story by Rabbi Kiva, because that's Torah kihem chayenu, that's a mitzvah chayuvas. Tzedakah, you could force someone if he's not giving tzedakah, but to where to give tzedakah, you have to be careful not to force someone to do what he doesn't want to do. Any chinuch related assignment, homework, even a penalty would be okay. Returning svarim should be done for many reasons. Many yisurim, it's certainly a lakman on chavere, but it's very possible, it's also a seder by befarach, you're forcing the gabbai to do what he doesn't want to do. To push someone to speak or be at bal tefillah, if the person is waiting for you to push him, so push him. But if the person doesn't want to do it, then don't push him. To get invited for Shabbos at last minute is really usually wrong, unless the person has no choice and it's his own child. But that should be avoided. I forgot to mention, if people are waiting online and someone says, oh, could I cut ahead of you? I have to just pay for 2 or 3 items. That's a perfect example of seder by befarach. People are embarrassed to say no, but they're being forced to wait, and that's mamish something that's avdus. And we assessed maybe achon chaviv, the importance of chinuch habanim, training children to see every yid in its importance, regardless if he's a worker, if he's a driver, if he's a tenant. All these things are just really confusing a child. Every yid should be respected for what he is, and hopefully when he gets older, he will keep that special chinuch.